Hello and welcome to Corner Fine Art. So today I wanted to make a video just showing you some of my latest work and sharing with you some of my research and inspiration for these botanical paintings that I've done lately. I've been really inspired by plants and flowers that I've seen recently and last year as well. So for example, this piece that I started just this weekend, I'm working on the scene with beautiful tropical blooms. And this plant I saw in Puerto Rico and in the El Yunque National Forest. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to find the ID for this plant. So if you know it, please comment down below. Let me know if you know the name of it. And I haven't finished this one, so I'm still working on the background, developing more detail and more perspective here. And that was done in acrylic. And here are some of the other paintings that I've done. This is the azalea, the beautiful swallowtail butterflies. See some raindrops here. This was my first time painting raindrops and I really love the effect, the beads of water on the plant. And most of these were inspired by photographs that I took on some of the trips. I have some desert botanicals, like this watercolor of the ocotillo blooming in the Arizona desert, with the really bright red blooms. They attract a lot of hummingbirds. And then I also have some tulips. I have two tulip paintings here. These are watercolor paintings. And these were inspired by some gardens that I visited, walking in the trails, seeing the beautiful blooms up close. These were watercolors. And those were last year. These are these years. And I focused on chameleons and some carnivorous plants. And I painted pitcher plant, the carnivorous, but I sold that one. And I also painted this Venus flytrap. I still have the watercolor. This is an original. And I did a video of how I painted the background on this one to kind of create a fuzzy, blurry effect. So these are the camellias that I've painted recently with watercolor. So I have this one, which is a closer look at the bloom, and have still life with a different type of variegated camellia in a beautiful brass flower pot. And then I also have this one, which I haven't finished matting and framing yet, with a bigger, more abundant bouquet in a white base. Can almost feel the bumpy texture of it. So these are some of my recent paintings that I've worked on, and I wanted to show you some of my inspiration for these. You know, like I said, I usually take photographs, and just in general, other flowers that I painted have been inspired by photographs, such as these right here. So these are two Polaroids that I took recently, and this is the Oconee Bell and the Trout Lily. So these are beautiful native plants, blooms that have inspired some other of my paintings, not these particular ones, but usually I take photographs like these with some close-up studies and some farther away studies, and take inspiration from these, and I try to capture the whole plant and then also just the bloom, because it helps me see, you know, how the plant starts, the way the leaves look, and the colors. So these are 2 photographs that I took, and I have many photographs that I've taken, not only Polaroids but also digital. And then also I take inspiration from books and plants that I collect. So here I framed some plants that I collected and dried. So you can see that the plant is preserved and framed on here. So, you know, I am able to study in detail what the plant looks like. And I love doing stuff like this because, you know, it preserves the flowers and the leaves. And I press plants as well, as you saw with this fern leaf. So I press and preserve some leaves and blooms so that I can observe the shape, the color, and the color changes, but it still retains a little bit of its natural color when the plant was alive, and the texture as well. Okay. And let me show you some of the books that I've been using lately too. So here's one, Wildflowers of the Appalachian Trail, and just gonna flip through real quick, but it has beautiful photographs of the plants. Trillium, it's one of my favorite plants. So there's so much variety of plants and some information to learn about them. So I did research not only on what the plant looks like, but some of the places where they grow and other facts about them. Some rhododendron, which is related to the azaleas that I painted, the pink ones with the raindrops. There's some carnivorous plants here too, sundew, the pitcher plant, which I painted and posted on my website, and it's sold, so I don't have to show you that one, but it was also a beautiful pitcher plant. And I also use books like this, which is, you know, coloring book, but it has some really great illustrations, plants. So it kind of simplifies the plant, different shapes. Here's the Venus flytrap. So I use these for reference, but I mostly base my paintings on my own photographs. The compositions and everything are from my own photos. And there are 2 more books that I'm going to show you, and these are bigger books. So let me clear some of these off the table. And so Woodland Portraits, it's a bigger book, and it has photographs of wild plants as well. And on the other side, very simple, just kind of like the name of the plant and a little bit of a quote down here. So there's a lot of different photo reference books that have all kinds of photographs in them. And another garden book, an artist garden. This one contains paintings. This is very inspirational work with beautiful botanicals. These are amazing. So I really enjoy seeing these. They have the they also have birds. They have some information about the painting, what the painting depicts. So beautiful books like this. And not only do I do paintings and photographs, like the ones I showed you here, but I also started doing some embroidering. And here I have two examples of some embroideries that I've done that are also botanical, and I've included, you know, the beautiful hummingbird is one of my favorite birds. So you can see some of the details, and some of these flowers are real and some are not, just being inspired by some of them. You know, of course I have the bleeding heart, the cardinal flower, and some other little blooms to add texture here. The beautiful hummingbird. Okay, and then I have a embroidered trillium flower, which I told you was one of my favorites. So I try to do some beading here as well, and played with a combination of fuchsia, red thread, greens, some purple. So, you know, as you can see, I'm inspired by mostly everything that has to do with nature, and I do research on the plants that I paint and illustrate and embroider. I love learning about the natural world, and you know, some of the plants are endangered, like the Oconee bell and some of the trillium varieties as well. So I try to bring awareness to that. And another part of it is I try to volunteer with gardens and preserves that work with these plants, because it's something important to me to preserve for future generations as well, these plants, and keep getting inspiration from them. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe and check out my website and my Facebook and my Instagram. It's coronafineart.com. And if you have any questions about my artwork, then let me know in the comments or email me. I'll link my email below. And if you know the name of this plant that I saw in Puerto Rico, please also let me know. I will show you the finished painting once I get it done, which will be very soon. I'm gonna work on it today as well. So thank you. I hope that you enjoy this insider video, and I will see you soon.